Today on 9 News Mornings, days after the shooting at East High, students and teachers will take a mental health day district-wide. Instead, many will march on the Capitol this morning to call for change.
We shouldn't have to be, still enacting these laws. We should have fixed this after Columbine.
The gun violence legislation they'd like to see put in place. We're also learning more about safety plans from someone who used to carry them out.
I heard some people talking about them, saying they're pretty common and this and that. Well, 4 years ago, they weren't that common.
We hear from a former dean of students who worked with DPS for decades. Teachers tell us they didn't sign up to put themselves in danger.
Part of my job description was not shield myself from gunfire.
Some say they're now reconsidering their calling. 9 News Mornings starts now.
We are going to get to your headlines in just a moment, but first we're going to take a live look out over downtown Denver. I mean, what are the perks of being up at 5 a.m. on a Friday? Downtown looks absolutely gorgeous right now.
Oh, you're new here, you're positive.
I'm trying.
It's Friday, right? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Corey here with Anusha, Keeley, and Ed. Jordan has the day off.
Oh, man. Okay, so at least we're heading into the weekend, right? But we got a little bit of snow, right?
I think we do have some snow tonight. We have a little rain-snow mix by afternoon. That changed over to snow, maybe an inch or two overnight, and then it's gone. Yeah, so it's not going to be a whole big deal. And there's no rush hour tomorrow, so that works, right?
Okay, that's promising.
And yesterday we were 53 degrees. We'll be about 50 today before we see the rain and snow showers move in, and I think that's going to be late afternoon to early evening. So here's what we've got going on right now. Mostly clear skies. We're at 27 degrees at this hour, and you see those clear skies. The rain and snow showers that we saw earlier that pushed across the metro area and just gave us a dusting have all pushed off to the east, so we see those clear skies, but here comes more snow, and the next system moves our way, and that will increase the clouds as the day goes on, give us snow in the high country, a little rain-snow mix over the eastern plains tonight, and then we see some snow overnight into tomorrow. Then it finally clears out late on Saturday into Sunday morning. So the increasing clouds today, 50 degrees will be the high, rain and snow showers late in the day. Cloudy skies with little light snow tonight and a low of 25. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy with rain or snow showers and 37 degrees. Sunday, we're at 39 degrees. Monday, 40 with partly cloudy skies. Here comes drier weather, warmer weather at 50 degrees with Wednesday, 60 degrees. And a little front goes through, chance for rain or snow showers on Thursday, and we're back into the 50s.
And lots of green out there on our maps this morning. Traffic pretty smooth out there. We have no problem areas as of yet, so I'll start with a few drive times. Westbound 36 Denver to Boulder. That commute taking you about 17 minutes right now. Southbound I-25, 144th Avenue to I-76. Green light there as well. 8 minutes at this moment. Westbound I-76 E-470 into Commerce City. That's about an 11-minute commute. And Southeast 270 I-25 to I-70. That's an easy 5 minutes.
Ely, thank you. Today, East High School will remain empty along with all DPS schools. The district called a mental health day in the wake of the East High School shooting. 2
deans were hurt in that shooting Wednesday morning. Eric Sinclair is still hospitalized in serious condition. His colleague Gerald Mason is now recovering at home. The suspected shooter was found dead in Bailey Wednesday night. We just got surveillance video showing him driving through Bailey about an hour after the shooting. The Park County coroner confirmed that he died by self-inflicted gunshot. Also, Denver police have now searched the suspect's home, but that search warrant details have not been released to the public. We don't know why he brought that gun to school either. The shooting is taking an emotional toll, and DPS has called off classes for all of its schools today for a mental health day for both students as well as employees. School officials say they want to give everyone time to process the events of this week, but also to take action. Students and teachers say they're planning a rally at the Capitol that's later this morning.
9 News reporter Darius Johnson is live now at the Capitol, and Darius, they're pushing for change when it comes to gun legislation.
Hey there, ladies. Good morning to you both. I can tell you that this is the third time that these students are taking themselves to the Colorado State Capitol. They say that this isn't something that they want to do, but this is something that they have to do. Why? Because they are tired of the gun violence that's taking place in a lot of their schools. And they're going to come here today so the lawmakers can hear their voices and do something about it. Take a look at this video. This is just from yesterday when students sat in at the Capitol asking for tougher gun control measures on the state level. These are the same students who walked from East High School to the Capitol earlier this month after the death of Luis Garcia, who was shot and killed outside of their school. So far this school year, the students at East High School have had a total of 4 lockdowns, a shooting at Carla Madison Rec Center, the swatting scare just last month, the shooting that ultimately killed Luis Garcia last month, and now the shooting this past Wednesday.
One of the most saddening things was that the E outside of our school, it is still painted an L for Luis. That is still there while there was the police and the ambulance coming to help our administrators.
Back out here live this morning starting at 8:30. I can tell you that there will be hundreds of Colorado educators along with students and parents all making their way right here, descending upon the Capitol to make their voices heard, making these leaders listen to them and in hopes that they will take some type of action. I can tell you that members of the Teachers Union and the Colorado Educators Association, they have also stated their support for several gun bills that are making its way through the State House right now. The students who will also be present, they are also going to be stating their support for those gun bills as well. Anusha and Corey, we're going to talk about some of those gun bills that are making their way through the House. We're going to talk about those in the next 30 minutes.
It's just heartbreaking because some of the students have said that they have had more days off because of shootings versus even snow days at this point. I mean, Darius, they are some of the most insightful and mature people we've heard from through all of this, and they just want to be heard. They want people to listen to them.
I think it's one of those situations. I mean, I don't have kids, but it still pulls at the heartstrings when you listen to these children who are between the ages of 13 and 17, who go to high school, who are scared to sit next to people in their classroom, who are going through so many different trainings and safety measures that none of us had to do when we were younger. So it's really one of those things where you hope that people will listen to them and you hope that they never have to experience anything like this again, because to see them out of school right now for a shooting, but yet they're at the Capitol trying to push for new laws, that shouldn't be happening.
That's what's eye-opening, I think, to me, Darius, is the fact that these teachers and students were given a day off for mental health, and instead they're saying we're going to use our day to spark change.
Exactly. Many of these teachers said that they couldn't walk back into these schools and see the faces of these students regardless of what school they went to. They knew kids at East High School. So for them to be able to show up today, that's them showing up in solidarity with a lot of these students and them also putting their foot down to say it's time to change something.
All right, Darius, thank you. The Denver School Board has unanimously agreed to let police back into schools at least through the end of the school year. This comes 3 years after unanimously banning police from schools. SROs remain a controversial topic, and the district wants community input before a long-term commitment. The president of the Teachers Union says even among teachers there isn't consensus. The school board is also backing Superintendent Dr. Alex Marrero, who brought police back without the board's permission.
It did happen inside of our buildings, so that changes things significantly, hence why I decided to act the way that I did, and I was incredibly reassured and encouraged when I learned that the board was incredibly supportive, but also are going to push me a bit further on how to support our schools moving forward.
The board's resolution suspended the ban on officers in schools through June, calling it an emergency situation. The board is asking the city for help with funding to place armed officers and mental health professionals at all high schools through the end of the school year.
Well, teachers are saying that putting their lives in danger is not what they signed up for. 3 teachers told 9 News reporter Angeline McCall that when school shootings happen, it makes them reconsider the profession that they consider a calling.
Look at us, just teachers having brunch.
During spring break,
We'll be able to chew our food and
teachers
probably taste it.
don't want to think about school.
Anything else. Yeah.
But these 3 Jefferson County teachers can't stop talking about it.
That was not on the plan for spring break this year.
10 miles away from where Genevieve Bassett teaches,
It felt like a punch in the stomach.
another school shooting.
Even though we're not there, the impact on just schools and teachers and
This is not what Rhiannon Wenning signed up for.
Part of my job description was not shield myself from gunfire.
They worry about their students and themselves.
I've been in teaching now for 22 years, and there has never been a time where I felt the least safe than I do now. And that to me is not okay. We did not sign up for this. No.
Some of Genevieve's memories are less about learning, more about lockdowns.
I was in the staff bathroom, coming back from lunch, texting my parents, like, you know.
I love you.
Yeah. My dad is very much a fan of me not being a teacher anymore.
Yep.
I just kind of put myself back in that bathroom, you know, in that moment. And then to think that our colleagues at East have done that multiple times in 1 year.
Even when they're not in the classroom, their heart is.
Well, sometimes you can't take the teacher out even on spring break.
Exactly. When they chose to be teachers, they didn't choose to be protectors.
I never thought that being a teacher would be a trauma survivor. Like
exactly. Just doing our everyday job.
So these 3 teachers you just heard from say that they have also taught students with safety plans in place, but never to the point of requiring a student to be patted down. They said that it would make them feel nervous if they had to do that.
One thing we do know about the suspected shooter is that he was on a safety plan. Safety plans aren't new to schools.
9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez is live outside East High this morning. And Brianna, kids get put on a safety plan when there are concerns about guns or other security worries.
Exactly, and those safety plans sometimes include it's between the student and of course the school, just so they can have extra supervision, and they include pat downs and weapon search for those safety plans. And we spoke to a former dean who worked for DPS, Mike Larita, and he worked for DPS for more than 30 years. He knows what it's like to work on the front lines at a Denver school and work with students on those safety plans. But he says a lot has changed in the last couple of years.
Back 15, 20 years ago, kids brought knives to protect themselves. Now they have the access to guns that they didn't necessarily have that long, that time.
Yeah, he did add that SROs are needed at each school, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here at East High School once students return back from spring break. Corey, Anusha?
All right, Brianna, thank you. Again, Colorado Crisis Services is available 24/7. If you need to talk, call 844-493-8255, or you can text TALK to 38255. You can also access resources through the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Just dial 988.